Hello, today we're going to talk about downsizing pictures for emails or web sharing. There are a couple different ways that you can handle this. The first way that we're going to do is just simply go up to Image Size, and in the dialog box I'm going to change my resolution to 72 to make it smaller for web sharing. And when I did that, it automatically changed my pixel size up top because resample image was on. And so this has now made this image a 504 by 360. So that's fine. If I wanted it larger or smaller, I could change those numbers. Let me go to this picture. I'm going to do the same thing, image size. I'm going to change this to 72, the resolution. And now notice that my height and width are a little bit large for sharing on the web. So I'm going to usually like to have my height be about 750 and my width to be around 500. So just by putting either of those numbers in, it's going to put the other number in for you. And then just hit OK, and that will resize that picture down for you for sharing on the web. Okay, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to undo this one. Okay, so the next way that you can do this is go to File and Scripts, Image Processor. And what you can do in here is you can select either the open images that you've opened up and maybe done some work to, or you can select a folder of images that maybe you just took that you want to put on your blog or share with some friends. So instead of opening up, say, 30 pictures, you can just select the folder and then tell it where the folder is located, and it will just grab that entire folder for you. In this case, we're going to use open images because I'm just going to use what I already have open. Step 2 is to save a location where it wants to know where do you want these images to go once I have worked on them. So I'm going to select a folder. I could save them in the same location that they came from, but my pictures are from different folders and I don't want to hunt for them later. So I've just set up a temporary folder called downsize that I just can save my downsized pictures to right there in my pictures downsize. So I'll choose that. It's a temporary folder I've set up. Step 3, we're going to save them as JPEGs. I put my quality at 10. 8 or 10 is a good quality for saving to web and email. And resize to fit. I have that check mark box checked because I'm going to ask the computer to size my pictures down for me. I like 750 by 500. You could use a smaller numbers if you want your pictures to be a little bit smaller. So 640 by 480 would be another ratio you might use. I'm not going to do save as PSD. Basically what PSD is, Photoshop document, and that is if I had created a layered photo. Let's say I did a lot of touch-up work and I have one layer that was the eyes and another layer that was the skin and such, then I wanted to maybe save the file and come back to it later and continue to work on it without flattening it. I would save it as a PSD, and that way it would keep all of those layers available to me to come back to. These are very large files. The third option is save as a TIFF. Let's say I have been working with a picture and I want to save it and come back and maybe do some more work on it. TIFF is just a lossless way of compressing a file that it does not get rid of information. It saves that information. TIFFs are large files. JPEGs are smaller because it does discard any kind of information that it does not need and just pretty much saves the pixels. So, and then down in preferences, step 4, we're not going to run any actions or do anything with that right now, so don't worry about that part. And then you're just going to hit run, and then you'll watch as Photoshop just takes your pictures and sizes them down for you. And what it's also doing is it's saving them out in that folder, and giving them, the name will be the same. It's just saving them in that folder that you've put them in. Okay, the third way to do this is to run an action. A lot of times you can go online and find free actions, and the action palette in Photoshop CS5 is just right here, and I have a whole bunch of actions to choose from that do different techniques to my pictures. This one is called the Jessica Hughes web share action that I got free someplace. You could probably Google search it. And I'm going to either pick a horizontal or vertical orientation. So all of my pictures are vertical orientation. So what I would do is it's going to play an action which is basically recorded steps that somebody else has already recorded to make these pictures smaller. And this particular action will put a black border around the outside of my image. So I will just click on the first line of the action and hit play down here at the bottom, and it's just going to walk right through, and there it goes. It just sized that image down and put a black circle around it. Or a black line. It's just that easy. Done and done. So back to the file, the scripts, the image processor. This bottom part here, I can run an action on my pictures and do it in batch. So I would just hit run action. I would go through my action palette, look for Jessica Hughes web share, tell it that I want the vertical orientation done, and then hit run, and it's going to go through and grab all of those and just do it in a batch for me, so I'm not having to do each and every picture on its own. So I hope you've learned something new today on batch editing and downsizing for the web, and I appreciate you watching my tutorial. Have a great day.